Hello and welcome to the Jewish Curiosity Podcast, where we ask questions and take journeys. In recent weeks, we have been taking the journey of asking the question, where are we going? What is this trajectory from this world through the Messianic age and eventually into the next world? What are we meant to do in this world to get all the way there? And in this episode, we're talking about the really tricky subject of when good people have bad things happen to them. And we're going to discuss and explore the special role that these people have in making the world a better place. I hope you enjoy. Why do bad things happen to good people? It's a question as old as human consciousness itself, a question that touches the core of our faith, and yet not a question that we should shy away from. A lot of people try and brush off this question, giving quick and superficial answers, like, oh, evil is only from people, but not from God. Or, you think it's bad, but it's really good. Or worst of all, we don't ask questions like that. Well, you know who did ask this exact question? None other than Moses himself, our greatest ever leader, the man with more faith and wisdom than any of us could ever imagine. So, if the question's good enough for him, it's good enough for me too. And if that is the case, let's see what we can do about it. Well, let's start by stepping back and thinking about the bigger picture. We are all on a journey. The world is on a journey. We are here in Olam Hazeh, this world, and we are developing it into Olam Haba, the coming world. We are given an imperfect world, and we are called upon to perfect it, to use our God-given abilities to improve the world and build it up from a place that is primarily physical into a place that is primarily spiritual, from a finite realm into an infinite one. And what are our tools for this construction project? Our actions. Every good deed, every kind word, every positive thought adds light, adds structure, builds spiritual architecture. And if it was as simple as that, all of us just doing good things all of the time, then we'd have a very straightforward path to Olam Haba. However, we don't always do the right thing. So where does that leave us? If individuals or nations or generations act destructively, how are we going to build this perfected world? Is there any guarantee whatsoever that we'll actually reach Olam Haba? To deal with this problem, God created something called the system of unity, Hanhagat HaYichud. In contrast to his reactive system of justice, where positive development can only come as a result of positive actions, he created the proactive system of unity, where he can unilaterally impose tikkun, repair, on the world. It might not be pretty and it might not be pleasant, but it is ultimately constructive and healing. So how does this healing work? Well, there is brokenness in the world. That's really the meaning of evil, is brokenness. And some of this was always present. As we discussed, God created an imperfect world to start with, and some of this was introduced by our actions over the years. This evil, brokenness, has to be dealt with. It has to be wiped out. The way that this happens is through the evil being expressed. It needs to come down into the physical world and find an expression. This could be in the form of illness, poverty, suffering, but when it expresses itself, it burns itself out of existence. It might be painful, but it's actually a process of purification. It's a little bit like withdrawal process from certain substances. There is brokenness inside the person, an addiction, and with the withdrawal, although it's extremely painful, if they're able to ride it out, they'll basically be cured of the chemical addiction. They are, to a large extent, healed. Similarly, the expression of evil is painful, it's terrible, but once it is expressed, it's gone, and the world is healed. So if you think about it, a good person to whom bad things happen is actually holding up the entire world. God chooses particularly special individuals for this task of bearing the burden of tikkun, of healing, for the whole of humanity. They did not ask to be in this position. It is something which was forced upon them from above. It's not happy, it's not pleasant, but when they go through this experience, when they bear the burden of having evil burn itself out through them, they just saved the world. They just brought us all one step closer to Olam Haba. So when you see someone suffering, or perhaps find yourself in such a position, don't be so quick to think that you or they necessarily did something to deserve that as such. It might not be so much about what you deserve as it is about what the world needs. Good people, to whom bad things happen, are the dearest of God's children and the heroes of all humanity. I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Jewish Curiosity podcast. If you want to find out more or check out more episodes, you can go to www.jewishcuriosity.com, or you can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Have an amazing day, and hope to see you next time.